good Sunday morning. I just had to have a little bit of my coffee. We just had some wild thunderstorms here. Wow. There are tens of thousands without power in central New York right now. That's what I heard last from local. So, strong thunderstorms. We just had one pass over now. I was like, whoa, I woke up to it. I was like, after what happened last night, I was like, oh my gosh, I doubt, But wow. Pretty intense last night, huh? To say the least. And I know there's so many people with so many different opinions, and I'm not getting into it. The point is, what happens next? Regardless of what you think of it, for it, against it, it's done. Now we have to see what happens next. Good morning, Witch Moon. And I had a phone call with somebody, and I've been talking to people because I've been paying a lot of attention to it. And I said it's going to happen last night. And it did. Based on what a lot of things going on, because it made sense in a weird way because of the NATO summit coming up Tuesday and Wednesday. Is he going to wait before or after to do the NATO meeting? Well, now it's definitely going to come to a head at NATO. And Russia made a statement. We condemn this action of an attack on a sovereign country against UN resolution. I'm saying to myself, Russia, are you serious? You, of all countries, are complaining? After what you've done to Ukraine? Remember, they started that. I'm like, really? You have the nerve to say something? So, there's a lot of politics and hypocrisy out there. But I'm not here to talk about that. There's plenty of places to go tune into that negative stuff that's going on. I'm not doing it. There's plenty of places to go watch, right? You turn on the TV, it's everywhere, I'm sure. So I'm not going to focus on that. Even though I am paying attention to it when I'm not streaming. Because I think a lot of us are concerned about where this goes next now. Here at home, too. 4th of July is coming. Holidays. Especially if you live near a big city. So, I'm sure they're doing whatever they can. Law enforcement, intelligence, FBI, etc., to try to see potential of any credible threats. But I would say I should have went bike riding in New York City already, but I can't because they're doing construction. I could tell you this, I'm not going bike riding in the city anytime soon. I'm not putting myself in a potential hazard area because you never know. I just won't. I just gotta, be logical about it and be safe, I hear you, Witch Moon. I hear you. I got work later. I gotta do a show. I'm more focused on the weather that woke me up this morning. I'm like, oh my gosh, what's going on? I thought I was dreaming, after watching the coverage last night. I thought it was like a dream or a nightmare. And I'm like, what the heck is going on? So we had a strong line of storms. They weaken now. You could still hear it. You could still hear it out there. But there is still a nasty line diving down. They're out of power. A lot of people here are out of power with these storms. They are out of power. Syracuse, These storms came roaring through. Tens of thousands of people without power right now in New York State. Tens of thousands. I may go swimming later if it gets nice. It's supposed to be 95 today. But look at these storms that came roaring through. Right now, it's starting to pass. It's starting to pass. So it's moving away from me slowly. So I think, what time is it? 9:30? I think by noon, the sun will be out and it'll be ridiculously hot. It's supposed to be 100 tomorrow and Tuesday, 91 on Wednesday, I believe. Well, we can look at that. But those are some nasty storms that came through. Let's see what they're saying daily. Gardner Town, New York, Hudson Valley. 95 today. Very warm and humid with clouds breaking for some sun. Extended heat wave. So 95, 97, 101, then 93, and the cool down comes back Thursday. Wish there'll be thunderstorms here. Probably at night as the front comes through to cool everything down. Even though it says this, I'm assuming at night we're going to get some storms from a front. I would have to look. It says cloudy, warm, and humid. This will change. They'll change that. When you got that front coming through, you're going to have storms. So, look at this. 95 today. And humid, so it's going to feel like 103. Don't make me laugh, Witch Moon. Don't make me laugh. But the real feel, it says 94. But look at the humidity tomorrow. Real feel 104, real feel 105, real feel 103. So we've got some really, really hot days ahead. Oh boy. Yeah, that's another thing with the humidity, the dew points. When they're high, like when they're above really 65, but 70, it's just uncomfortable. It's just disgusting. Another thing, continue live view. What happened? Reconnect. I just put all my cameras outside. Oh, there we go. So yeah, I've got the robot in the pool going. The little guy's going in there. But it looks like it's brightening to the north. That, where the tree is north. Where you see that tree on the left, that's north. Not straight, but at an angle. The house does not sit on a north, south, east, west perfect lineup trajectory. North is to an angle to the left. That's north. So if you were looking, well, it's hard to describe, but it's not straight. That we're looking north, northeast if we're looking straight. This would be north, northeast. Going at this angle this way, that way, is north. If that makes any sense. So we would have to turn our heads a little bit and look sideways to be facing completely north, if that makes any sense. So now just to get one more little point, because they're going to talk a lot of stuff. The Iranian parliament has approved closing down the Strait of Hormuz. Now it's up to the supreme leader, and I forgot what the other, not the parliament, the Security Council in Iran. If they try to close the Strait of Hormuz, they're going to get whacked hard. They're going to get whacked real hard. Because I've been talking about this on TikTok, where people, and some people said you were right. You know, you got to watch oil. And people were saying, well, we don't get our oil from Iran. It doesn't matter. It affects the global markets. When those prices go up, our prices go up. Because we'll keep it maybe a little lower. But we can't keep it low because if the prices go up in Europe and Asia and everywhere else, our prices are going to go up too. It's not just going to stay flat, which some people I just don't understand how they don't know how things work. So I would pay a lot of attention. The markets are closed. It's the weekend. Watch that market tomorrow. Not saying, I always say this, I'm not saying it's going to happen. But boy, oh boy, I hate to say it this way too, a lot can happen in the next 24 hours. And people saying, oh, it's not going, well, I would like to go out right now when it was 289, I think it was 289 here for regular. I haven't gone to the gas station since because I haven't been going out. I would like to, I'm curious to see what the prices are now. A little up, I would assume. Not, not much, but it should be up a little. I would actually have to go physically to the local gas station where I get my gas all the time, right up the road, and see how much it went up. But since this whole thing started, over a little over a week ago now, it closed at 77.32. It's odd that it's showing this range. Last week before this started, it was 67. So it's jumped up by $10. And this is Brent. I use Brent because Brent is a good gauge of the market overall for oil. I'm trying to see where okay, 620, we have to go further back. I don't know how much it's going to let me do that. Because this is weird how it's coming up like this. It didn't come up like this. Okay, there we go. That's what I'm looking for, the chart. So if we go back, let's go ahead. Look, it's in the look at the price. It's in the mid 60s. Look how it's jumped. Look how the price has jumped. And it was at 78 yesterday, but the day, not yesterday. Yeah, was it yesterday? No, Friday. It was 78, but then it came down a little bit. So I would suggest people pay attention to the market. If especially, God forbid. What's up, Dagger? God forbid they should do something with the Strait of Hormuz, where it's like 20 or 25% of the oil supply globally goes through. Gosh. That. So it's gone up by like $10 a barrel. I don't know, like I said, I haven't been out in a few days. So I don't know. I remember getting gas Thursday night last week when the whole thing hit the fan. And I haven't been to the gas station since because I haven't been going out. I've been getting a lot of deliveries. So I don't know what the price is now. I have gas containers filled in the garage. I have my car full of gas. Has anybody seen any difference where they get their gas? But you got to remember before, what you paid before, and what the price is now. It's got to be up a few cents, at least. So that's just something to keep an eye on. There's a lot of things we have to keep an eye on right now. And think, the ramifications, the consequences of this action, it's not just today, next week, next month. It could be years. The long term. So, yeah, the short term is going to be what the hell happens next. We have to also see how this plays out in the long term. Is there going to be a regime change? It is the speculation and rumor is the Ayatollah already picked out his successor in the event that he's taken out. They're already trying to keep that chain going in Iran. So, do the people really want to rise up now? There's a lot of questions here. Will Iran make an absolute fatal mistake by attacking U.S. bases or anything related to U.S., including the possibility of domestic terrorism in our country? If that should happen, blame them. And again, there is two sides. There's more than two sides. There's so many different ways to look at this. When you're objective and you're looking at, everyone's point of view, opinion on it. Like people are saying, well, why are we involved? Israel started this. Where's the real evidence that Iran was weeks away from acquiring a nuclear weapon? Why should we get involved? Of course there's that. And then there is, if you're looking at it from a Iranian point of view, they've never recognized the state of Israel. They are the occupiers. They are the settlers. They always thought of them as the invaders. And they have stated for decades the utter destruction of Israel. And a lot of people say, oh, it's all rhetoric. It's only rhetoric until it happens, and then it's no longer rhetoric. How much do you take? And think about, I look at it another way. This might be a weird way to look at it. If you didn't have Iran supporting extremist groups by supplying them and implanting them in Lebanon, in Syria, in Gaza, how would those places have been without those presence of those terrorist organizations? Do you think the constant back and forth would exist if not for a country supplying these proxies to put up the fight against the occupiers? Think about the long term, going back decades. How long this has been going on. Do you think a lot of this would even happen if October 7th didn't happen? October 7th is what started the domino effect here. And Iran is probably saying, my gosh, Sinwar, what a mistake you made starting this whole thing, because now look where we're at 2 years later. Iran is in a really compromised position. That's just a fact. Do they have something up their sleeve that we may not be aware of? Have they moved the uranium by trucks, which is the reports I see? That the uranium that was enriched is been taken away and hidden somewhere? So we may have stopped the capability of producing it, but there still exists that highly enriched uranium somewhere that can be used for God only knows. Again, there's a lot of ways to look at this. And I don't want to get into it, but if you're going to be fair and objective, you have to think about all the different things that. But remember what happened in Lebanon with our Marines, hundreds killed. By what? Proxies. Paid by who? Iran. I mean, this has been going on for a long time. So you could look at it from that perspective. So, I mean, this is a very complicated situation. And yes, Saudi Arabia condemned it, but Saudi Arabia, the people there, the leadership, the prince, they're celebrating. Their enemy just got their ass whipped. Now, that doesn't mean they're done. It doesn't mean they took a good hit, but it's not over. Because they're not just going to lay down and say, we give up. There's not going to be a ceasefire. That does not make any sense. What's up, Grandizer? Yes, Saudi Arabia backs, and I know where you're going with that, 9/11. It even precedes that with what happened in 1993, the first tower attack, the Cole. Think about all the places around the world that were hit, hotels and by proxies. Think of what happened even in the UK. So, France. These proxies, Brussels, they're everywhere. Paid for and funded by, really, the state of Iran. And like you said, other entities, let's just say. So I know there's a lot of people that have so many different thoughts and opinions and feelings, because feelings plays a part of it too. There are people that are angry. There are people that are happy that this happened, cheering it on. The thing is now, and as always, and I don't think I have to say this because I think everybody knows this, innocent people suffer. The civilians suffer everywhere. When there's war, they all suffer. Whoever is in the conflict, both sides, three sides, whatever the war, those are the innocent people that suffer. But, that's all overlooked, really, because it's... And I'm not even calling this a war. Some people are saying it's a war. Some people say we have now entered the war. Well, we did a precision strike on targets. It has happened with other presidents. Like, a lot of people in Congress are bitching and moaning, oh, this is unconstitutional. You have to get congressional approval for the War Powers Act. Other presidents have done this too. Preemptive strikes. Look at Iraq. Or Afghanistan. I mean, after the campaign already has, it happens. Where did we take out Osama bin Laden? We had an operation. A covert operation. So it's not like it's something new. Now, the scary part is, where do we go from here? Hi, Candace. Where does it go from here? And what are the ramifications globally? Safety concerns. Exactly. Not a war, military actions. That's what I'm referring to, Candace. Look up 2001 AUMF. That's what she put in. But that's what I was just saying. But there's a lot of people who want to call it a war, that we're entering their war, which, if you want to technically say, we did enter by doing precision strikes between their conflict. In coordination with. But that's like being a proxy. We're being a proxy for them. You could just look at it that way. We're their proxy. I mean, we supplied them with everything. Exactly. Does it make it right? Like Grandizer said, does it make it right? Yes. Like I said, I'm just putting out all the different points of view. Does it make it right? No. The question was, it happens, but does it make it right? That's the issue. The president is sidestepping Congress and should not. But like I said, this is why people need to realize, when there's a precedent, not a president, a precedent, P-R-E-C-E-D-E-N-T, that sets anything moving forward. So when a president does certain things, it doesn't matter what administration, and they push that threshold further, well, that sets the precedent. Because now that is considered to be acceptable unless it's taken to the courts, proved unconstitutional, whatever. But you move the bar. And another president will say, well, look what he did. So that's why when things happen, it's very important. No matter what it is, it doesn't have to just deal with this topic. It could deal with anything that a president does acting in the executive role, solo, and doesn't care about the ramifications of Congress bitching and moaning about it, or take me to court. And even if the courts decide against me, I don't give a shit. There's a precedent there. That precedent will move forward for future presidents because they're going to say the same thing. And the scary thing is, it's okay now, but when the shoe's on the other foot and a Democrat does it, you're going to see all the uproar. That's the hypocrisy. Of course, because that's just the way it is. That's politics. But like I said, pay attention. It's very important to see when things up the bar is pushed further. And this goes for any administration. It's very important. The disregard of the other branches in government. We all know what that leads to. I would hope that people realize. And that's not just a scare, fear-mongering weaponization. It's fact. Look at history. Learn. But I think a lot of people they have such a short span of retention of memory, or they just can't focus on one thing. They're already focused on something totally different that has now made them forget about that. So I pray for our troops and their families because, my gosh, I pray for the safety of the people here in the United States and abroad, in other countries and other nations. But right now, it's pretty much us. But tourists traveling in Europe, my gosh, that's a can of worms. Everybody goes think right away. Oh, it's good. We have to worry about it here. There's 15,000 of them planted cells. The Russians did it for decades during the Cold War. It would be naive not to think that they're not here as well. But people right away think about this country. What about Americans abroad? How vulnerable they are. Who's protecting them? So very scary times. And you definitely do not want a hostage situation either. Used as some kind of, oh my gosh, negotiating ploy, a tool, a resource. There's so many things to keep an eye on here. So many. But I'm going to be done with this. But they're threatening right now but again, it could be all rhetoric. They're threatening to close down the Strait of Hormuz. And I'm not saying this. The Iranian parliament said it. I don't know what time they're local. They're 7.5 behind me. So probably this morning or early afternoon Iranian time. But the Iranian parliament to shut. And if this happens, the markets are going to go nuts. And not in a good way. Yeah, here we go. This is money control, and it's money because it's financial. If this happens, forget it. This is money control. Iran's parliament approves closure of Strait of Hormuz after U.S. strikes. But the country's top security body, which is their Security Council, and the Ayatollah has to approve it too. So they approved a measure to shut it down. Their press TV, which it could be all propaganda and rhetoric. So there it is. And that's coming from Iran International English. If this happens, oh boy. So that's something to pay attention to in the upcoming hours and days. Would they do that? All they have to do is put a few ships tankers, sink them, lay mines. You know how long it would take to remove the ships if you sank them on purpose? Blocking the strait? And think they could be laying mines right now, but I'm sure we're watching out for that. The Revolutionary Guard with their little boats going all over the place. And not so little boats either. They have a navy. The Iranian Navy. So I'm sure we're watching all of that. And so is the UK, France, China. The whole world is watching. I hope peace too, Candace. I do. Yeah, all the subs were used yesterday with 30 Tomahawks. There is a lot of American firepower right now in the region, with more on the way. Though they say it's on the way, it could be already there, for all we know. Yeah, we just had bad thunderstorms. To my north and west, tens of thousands without power. We didn't get hit with the vicious line. They did. State Farm. It's not State Farm. Commercials with the dog. It's Liberty. Liberty, liberty, liberty. That's the one he freaks out on. And oh yeah, he doesn't even have to see the dogs anymore. He just hears liberty, liberty, liberty. He thinks it's the commercial. He starts going nuts. Yeah, I agree with Richmond, but she probably left already. She's going out either fishing or swimming. It should heat up here later. It should clear up. It's not even 10 a.m. It should get nice here in a couple of hours. The storms are already moved to my south. It's over. And it's going to be 95 today. 95. 100. Tomorrow, Tuesday, it's going to feel like 100. Wednesday, it'll be in the 90s. Yeah, my pool is really clean now. And it's about, yesterday I checked it, it was 79 degrees. If it hits 84, I'm going to throw up. Because I don't like warm water. I do not like it, but it'll cool right back down. 84 is the line where it's just yucky to me. The temperature of the water. It's like, this isn't refreshing. This is gross. It's warm. It's hot. Ill. You know what I mean? It's not that great. The problem was, not yesterday, the day before, it still hurts. I got sunburn. Remember what I look like, as I'm already getting darker. It's not because I have the light off. I'm going to be really dark by the time September rolls in. It just happens every year. And I used to have, the fat rolls here. So now you really could see the tan that used to be where the skin, when I lost all the weight. That's where the rolls were. That's the fat rolls. This is where the sun couldn't get to. That's kind of funny when you look at it. So, yeah, yucky bathwater, Mike. Yeah, well, we have lakes here too. But why deal with that when you got a pool in the backyard? I mean, it's radio outside, going crazy with that. Yeah, that's true. I should aggrandize it, I have some red shirts going ready for the laundry right now. I only own like 20 of them now. I'm not even kidding. The number's up to like 20 now. It's weird. I'm not even going to get into the Manjaro, but my appetite is gone. I started it again after fighting with my insurance company, with doctors, for like a couple of months. I wasn't taking it. I was taking it for like close to a year before that. starting at a very low dose. Then you got to wait like 3 months to go to the next dose. And then you got to wait those 3 months more to get to the next dose. But I started Tuesday last week, and already appetite is gone. My A1C went back up to 6.1. But all I've been eating for the last week is chicken breast made in the smoker, and that's only one time. Omelets with vegetables and salads. That's all I've been eating. Oh, and popcorn that I make as a snack. So I'm already hardcore back. I was waiting for that Manjaro. But like 20 more unfolded and 20 more still in packs. No, actually, there are some still in a box. Still in wrappers. I haven't even opened them yet. There are about 10 folded and about four. 4 are stacked over there, dirty, ready to go into the wash machine. Good morning, Astro and Fringe. I was going to go bike riding this morning too. And then the thunder woke me up. I was like, what the hell? And like I said, after last night, I'm watching, because I was watching Agenda Free with Steve. Because he was putting out stuff as he's seeing it coming out before the media probably seen it. He was already getting posts, information. I'm like, there are times where I just don't want to hear him, to be honest. Because he gets very defensive. I get defensive too. But I mean, my gosh. What makes your sources better than other people's sources? You're getting it from Telegram. Or because you trust that source, but you don't trust the people that are watching sources. It's like, I get that. You know, I've been texting him, we're in chat, a lot of important information. He has not brought up one comment of mine yet. I told him yesterday morning it takes 14 plus hours to...
It's 71
Alexa, stop! To leave Whiteman. I said this in his chat yesterday morning. It left this morning. And I'm saying, I'm giving him like the hint. It could be happening. And I said it takes 14 plus hours about to get...
Today's New York
Alexa,
Sports
stop! And other times when I'm putting information. And and there's another connection. And one of my friends that used to come here to the chats, Keisha, she's a moderator over there. He said her name last time. I was like, oh my God, that's Keisha. I know Keisha. And I'm thinking, do you have to be a member or a paid person to have your comments mentioned? I'm starting to think, does he do that? He only looks at what the members are saying and ignores non-members? Is he doing that? I don't have any evidence of that. But that would be pretty petty if that were true, right? You're not worthy of your comments because you're not a paid member. That'd be messed up. I have no evidence of that though. I'm just speculating. It's kind of odd. But overall, I'm watching others too. Because you remember, I have 4 monitors in front of me, so I can sit here and watch a lot of things going on at one time. But what time is it now? It doesn't really matter because they've been hitting them in the daytime, nighttime. It doesn't matter. Right now it's 10:02, so in Israel it's 5:02 p.m. In Tehran it's 5:32 p.m. It's a half hour more. Yeah, that's what I'm. Michael, I have no evidence of that at all. I'm speculating. So, you know, that's it's all speculation. But we'll see how all this plays out. Like I said, who knows what happens next? And I think that's what everybody's thinking, that is thinking about this whole situation. They're like wondering what happens next. So hopefully, like I was telling some in the YouTube, and of course Astro, we had some really nasty storms pass through. Tens of thousands without power to my northwest. Actually want to see if there's an update on that. But the storms stayed to my west, the stronger ones, and moved south. They already cleared the area. But now it's going to be 95 today, so whoa. Thousands without power. Storms. New York. Let's see. Yep, there it is. It was a local radio station. Wow. Wow. You got to see the flooding. Central New York storm destruction captured in stunning photo gallery. So, leaving a trail of destruction that stretched multiple towns and villages. Knocked out power to thousands of residents, down trees and power lines. So this is what happened today to my north and west. I can't even imagine. So I'll just say lucky it didn't happen here. It was close. And there's still some nasty storms out there to the west, but they're moving south. They could be weakening too. But this is what woke me up this morning at 7 a.m. I was like, what is going on? See, the line is now in Pennsylvania near Scranton. We're in the clear. It should actually be brightening up out there. So that's just really rain there in the city. There's some storms here. And this is what came down. Syracuse, central New York got hit pretty heavy with this. And it's all moving downward. See? So it's training over the same areas. You could be getting these storms one after the other because it's training. Imagine being over here. Let's just say, I gotta wait till the radar reloops. If you're here, the same area of storms are going over your area for an extended period of time. So, not so much here. Thankfully. And like I said, we had thunderstorms, but it wasn't like that. What they dealt with. And like I said, there's widespread power outages in that region. I just want to see if it's brightening up outside. I gotta look to the north. What does this mean? Do you want an emergency response? Heck yes, I want that. I definitely want that. Request fire, police, or medical response with the touch of a button from Ring app or web dashboard. Absolutely, I agree. If you'd like to be called first, please add yourself as first contact. Second contact. Your verbal password lets our monitoring center confirm that their call. What? Your verbal password lets our monitoring center confirm that the person they've called has your permission to cancel. Choose a word or a number. I know the word. Activating SOS. It's activated. Save this number. Uh-oh. Alexa, turn on living room light.
Okay.
Okay, it's there. I don't have to save it. Alexa, shut off living room light.
Okay.
That's a new feature. It's brightening. I just got an email about it. It's brightening up, but it's still cloudy. It's definitely brightening. Definite. So if it gets sunny, I'm going in that pool, that's for sure. If it cooperates. It should clear up soon. Matter of fact, let me look at windy. Let's look at the satellite imagery. Best way to know. It's going to take a minute. That is a big blob. That's a big blob of dark clouds right there. It'll break here. And that's a couple of hours away before all this moves down. Let's see. Let's see. That's now. Let's do a future. That's an hour away. $11. I would say maybe by, I gotta pause it. Right there. Maybe by 1 o'clock, the sun will be out. By 1, if I had to guess. Maybe after 12. And then that heat is on. We have an excessive heat warning for the next 3 days here. You didn't get nothing? Yeah, because all of this, most of the storms were in my area west. They're the ones that got hit bad. What's going on in here now? Been going 12 weeks almost, working on a diet. I've hit a plateau. It's really frustrating. Do you have this? Yes. But if you're working out, you might be gaining muscle, weight, but losing the fat. Because I was lifting weights and doing it, building back muscle. That's weight, muscle weight. So don't get too discouraged if you're working out. It's not just dieting. If you're working out too, you have to consider that. And also, what I do that's successful in losing weight is I cheat. I cheat once a week if I can, because the Mounjaro is a blocker. If you try to force yourself to eat, you will get sick. You cannot force yourself to eat with this. You'll get nauseous, and it's not a good thing. But don't be frustrated. You could throw your body off. It's okay. It's okay to treat yourself in a moderate portion. So don't get discouraged if you've hit a plateau, because just keep doing what you're doing. That's what my advice would be. Don't be frustrated and then go back to eating junk and ruining everything. Like, this is my second cup of coffee this morning. I've had nothing else. Yesterday I smoked chicken breast. I had that with a big salad. That's it. And popcorn. Air popped. And coffee. So in my salad, it depends what I'm in the mood for. But generally, it's always going to be salad. Where I love chicory, but I'm having a hard time finding chicory. I love chicory. I love that bitter taste of chicory. So I've been eating romaine or leaf lettuce with salad cucumbers. I slice them. Cherry tomatoes. I put a third of a can of chickpeas. And then in the salads, I'll take that chicken breast, dice it up, throw it in. Or I'll take low-fat ham or low-fat turkey and throw it in the salad to change it up. So that's what I do. Amol would be actually pleased by this. I don't eat much meat anymore. He's probably saying any meat is bad for him as a vegan. But I don't eat it much at all anymore. It's omelets with vegetables, loaded with vegetables. I love it. Mushrooms, broccoli, you name it goes into that omelet. Cauliflower, whatever. I don't care. But I make a nice sized omelet and I put a little cheddar cheese on it. Yes, don't become discouraged by it. You're doing great for yourself. Don't. Look at that. You lost 4 inches on your waist. See? Oh, I'm not quitting at all. Like me, I hit the bump because of dealing with the insurance company. Because it's amazing the calls I have with the insurance company. And I'm like saying to myself, are they just incompetent? Have you not seen in the record that I've been on Mounjaro going from 2.5 to 5.0 to 7.5 until things got crazy? Do you not see why? Do you not see my medical records? Do you see that I'm a type 2 diabetic? Because they won't cover it. They won't cover it fully if you're doing it simply for weight loss. They will cover it if you're being treated for type 2 diabetes. And I'm saying, what happened? What's changed in almost a year where I was on Mounjaro and now you're stopping it? Before that, I was on Ozempic, but it was affecting my pancreas. I'm like, what incompetence is going on? But I changed doctors. I went to a new doctor 2 weeks ago, And within a week, I got my Manjaro back. So it could have simply been the incompetence at the doctor's office not pursuing and keep sending the information to the insurance company for pre-authorization. You don't know. And I don't give up. I called the state. I made a few phone calls. Because I don't settle. I'll make those calls. So, and that's true. The fat that you eat is the fat that you wear. That is a great line, actually, Amol. That's one of the best things you've written in a long time. But that's the truth. I can't remember the last time I went to a fast food place. That period. Even when oh my gosh. I have no idea. I can't remember the last time I went to like a Burger King or I like Wendy's the most out of all of them. Burger King, McDonald's, ill. I mean, just thinking about it makes me want to get sick. And people really have to start looking at the processed foods they eat, like a hot dog. Oh, is that so bad? So, you got to just watch what you eat. I've been doing okay, though. I'm back, like I said, on target. The arm is I still have a partial tear here. Yes. I didn't cook anything. I washed all the dishes, though. And I made coffee. You could eat that sugar-free apple pie. Oh, it's actually not sugar-free. No sugar added. Yes. No sugar added. Keyword, no added. It's not sugar-free. Well, then your doctor has wise words. I figured it had to come from somebody else, not you. At least you gave credit to the doctor and you're being honest. What?
Where's the baby?
He's under your bed.
Oh, I'm freezing.
You're freezing?
Yep.
Are you whack?
No.
I'm going in the pool soon.
How can you go in the pool?
In a few hours.
Wow. Oh, be careful because thundering.
It's over.
Just
I'm
be
looking-
careful. I'm telling you that's it.
I'm looking at the radar. It's over. It's went to the south.
You never listen.
And who knows the weather since they were very young? Well, I don't hear a comment now.
Huh?
Who knows the weather since I was a little kid?
You.
Exactly. So, if I say it's not going to do it anymore, it's not.
Make mistakes.
I'm not making a mistake. I don't make
I'm putting my
weather
pajamas,
mistakes.
I'm putting this on.
Oh my, she has to have an answer for everything. She's worse than a mole in chat. She's worse.
Ta-da!
Imagine living with that.
Hey, what?
It's like, I feel like recording her
How can you
voice.
just say something like that?
I feel like getting
You got everything
recording her
beautiful
voice,
house, beautiful
and
car,
maybe there's a dial that can be
watch,
programmed,
stand,
and you pull it or press a button. Remember the pull ones? And it has Momzilla saying stuff. A different thing every time. Press this button. And it just, remember like the Chucky dolls?
Chucky.
The Momzilla doll. And it says something different every time. But the cool thing is you can program it yourself to say what you want it to say. That's a pretty good invention, right? Fringe says hello.
Hi. Don't be just
Oh, I know,
talk
I know.
like that about me.
I'm joking around. She knows I joke around too. We joke like this. Right, Ma?
Yep.
We do this all the time. Believe me, you'll hear the change in tone if it was more serious. And it will get a little bit more intense and probably a lot louder. If it wasn't
Did you make
being
coffee?
Yes, if it wasn't being funny right now. Trust me.
The pie doesn't have sugar?
It has no added sugar.
Oh, great. So I could have that.
So I need you to do me a favor. Only one favor.
I'm tired of favorites.
One favor.
Uh-uh.
I want you to slice me up, and then you could eat. Slice me up all the rest of the mushrooms. Are you paying attention? I fed the cats. No reason to open the door. It's nice and cool in here. I don't want the heat coming in the house.
Shut up, baby. Don't be.
See, this is where it just flipped a little. See?
Where are you from?
It just flipped. They're on the chairs underneath the table. Yes, they are in the back.
Yeah?
Yes. I need you to do me a favor.
What?
Chop me up the mushrooms.
I want to do you a favor.
Put it.
I'm
Listen
gonna
to
do
me.
you a favor. I'm gonna do now. I'm gonna have Michael
I have your apple pie.
and I'm gonna
After that, I already did all the dishes. Slice me up all the rest of the mushrooms. Slice me an onion and slice me half a red pepper.
Oh, what you gonna do then?
Make an omelet.
Oh, let me eat that.
She'll do it because she wants to eat the omelet too. Hear the laugh? You think she's not slick? If I was making chicken or something, she wouldn't help me because she don't eat it. But because she's still laughing, she's walking away laughing hysterical. She's still laughing because she wants it too. Nobody cooks like Bill in this house. Well, then again, I'm the only one that cooks, so I guess. But just ask the people that come over the house. They'll tell you.
Master.
What?
Master, what
Alexa, turn on the living room light. Let me see.
Okay.
Ooh.
Master, what
Ooh.
you want me to do?
There's 2 packs of mushrooms in the refrigerator. Slice them all. Because there's one left. There's leftover in both of them. I want them. You got to rinse them off,
You're
obviously.
gonna make an omelet with that?
Yes, and slice me an onion and slice me a half a red pepper.
Oh my God, I'm gonna have.
Alexa, shut off living room light.
I'm
Okay.
eating.
I don't, Ma. I'm not. That light is killing me. Go over there and eat. You don't have to be here to eat. Go to your room and watch TV. Enjoy.
Oh, shut up. I don't like to take orders.
I'm not giving orders. I'm suggesting. I'm not putting the light on here.
I did that when I was in the post office.
Oh my gosh. Let's just stop.
And they go and
Stop
they
it there.
deliver that.
Oh my God. Here we go. Yeah, yesterday I had a little fun in the pool with the music, and I'm not going crazy like that again today. But it feels like it's late already. It's not even 10:30 in the morning.
That water must be cold.
The water is 79 degrees. You were in the pool 2 days ago.
That's not bad.
And it warmed up a little bit more yesterday. And it's going to warm up a lot more by Thursday. It's going to be, that water will be like 85 degrees. It's going to be nasty. Anyway, don't forget, please, slice me the mushroom, slice me an onion, slice me the red pepper. Half the red pepper.
Put everything on top because I don't know where they are and I'm not looking
That's
for
actually a
them.
great idea. Let me put everything on the counter with the cutting board.
Yep.
That's a great idea. Oh my God, that looks like me. When I was fat. Excuse me, I gotta get through. Put your feet in. You can talk.
Where's my baby?
It's under your bed.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, we gotta use these mushrooms up. Wash the mushrooms.
You do what you gotta do and that's it.
Use all the mushrooms.
All right.
I'm putting out a red pepper.
All right.
Checking to see if there's other red pepper. I thought there was another one that was here.
Maybe in the other refrigerator.
And here's an onion.
But how you want me to cut it?
All right, everything's there.
How do you want me to slice those?
It's all on the counter.
Oh my God. How did you want me to cut this?
I just told you
Like
everything's.
that, look, they're cutting over there, like there.
That's funny. Yes. So I want you to slice everything. Slice the mushroom, slice the onion, slice the red pepper. Everything on that counter has to be sliced.
All right.
And then I'll get off of here and I'll make breakfast.
And then I can
Yes. Okay. You know, it's weird because I don't even want to go there with it, though. With the writing of the songs. But boy, oh boy, when I wrote those lyrics, it's like, wow.
Really, I want to.
Listening to it now, like, wow.
Let me tell
What
you,
is it, Mom?
not because you're my son,
Oh no, here we go.
but that's what you wrote there. The music.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that was beautiful.
I'm not even going to play it. I'm not even going to play a video game. I was going to play a video game too.
That was.
I think I'm just going to chillax. I do have to work later. I think I'm just going to relax. Go make breakfast once Momzilla slices everything.
Okay, gorilla.
Make breakfast and just relax.
Okay.
Then if the weather gets nice in a couple of hours, go in there for a couple of hours, come out, work, and just enjoy the Sunday, and just relax for a change. That would be a good thing to do. For once. What is everybody else doing today? I see
Sleep.
Grandizer, Witch Moon. Witch Moon said she was going to go either fishing or swimming. Ooh. Those are good. I like those. For French. Like I said, I smoked chicken. So I'll make an omelet now. That'll hold me till tonight. Oh! Take broccoli out of the freezer.
I'm not touching that. I was frozen. You'll do it.
I gotta put broccoli in. Oh, you're gonna be gardening? The gardening here is done.
What?
For now it is.
I gotta
For this
go
year.
to home.
There is no more gardening this year.
And what?
You can't plant, it's too hot. It doesn't
don't
work.
Tell me. I've been planting all the time. Okay, don't even try that. They're having and you didn't tell me about Home Depot that have all these beautiful flowers to plant.
Yeah, they have a lot of annuals. I'm not
No,
putting annuals.
I don't put annuals.
It's-
You're a liar.
I'm not a liar.
You're telling me that.
The season is done for that.
Shut up! You don't even know nothing about planting.
No, that's why you plant some plants in shade. What's going on, Mr. DiPerno? I am live, but we can talk because I'm not on TikTok. What's happening?
It's too late to put gardening in. We put it in already. It's too
Oh, you see? Even Chris is watching and saying it. It's too late to garden. You
I
can't.
know how to garden, okay?
That's not the
I
point.
know how to-
But see,
excuse
Chris,
me.
you can't win with this one. You know what I'm saying?
Chris, annuals, I don't buy them because they don't come every year. Perennials, yeah, they
I've
do
never
because
bought
of,
them out.
This is too funny. Dude, the latest word is that the Iranian parliament has give the go to close the Strait of Hormuz, but now they got to get approval from the Security Council in Iran and the Ayatollah himself.
Ain't gonna happen.
I don't think so either. That would be a big fatal mistake by them. So just keep an eye on what the hell is going on, because Fringe is funny.
It behooves them to say, let's make a deal. It really does at this point.
Yeah, but there would have to be a major compromise. I don't know if it's unconditional surrender is still the moot point of this, or some other negotiation. All I know is Israel wants all their missile capability eliminated too, and I think Iran made a statement the other day after the meetings with the Europeans that our missile program is not negotiable. They didn't mention about the nuclear part, but they're not going to give up their missile program and their nuclear program. That makes them completely vulnerable. Why bother? Do you know what I mean? That's the way they're looking at it as a sovereign nation. I mean, you're telling me I got to get rid of my missile defense. I got to get rid of my nuclear. If I'm Iran, do I take a deal like that? I mean, what the hell am I going to be left with? So, and we're dealing with not necessarily the Ayatollah. It's the IRGC. It's the military branch They're like, screw that. You got to remember, they are absolutely cold, ruthless, even to their own people. They're it's almost like they're psychopaths. They're sociopaths. They're sadistic people. They don't care about anything. They'll go all the way with this. If it's up to them, they'll go to every one of them is gone. So there's a lot of things going on, Chris?
And remember, this is a religious war.
And that too. And it's also the occupiers. The occupiers. The Jewish people are the occupiers of the land. So they never recognize them. And they'll never recognize them. But, when you look at the history of Iran before what happened in 79, they lived amongst each other in peace. You know what I mean? Kinda deal. That was the game changer. So, and like I said, you look at it from both sides. It's there. Iran is one of the oldest civilizations to exist on the planet.
Oh yeah.
This is very deep. My gosh.
Yeah, but you know what? They didn't strike any population areas.
No.
They were specific. They hit the nuclear sites, and that was it.
Right. Right.
And so the Iranians got to stop hitting civilian sites.
Like I said, we have to. I think, like most people, we're just all waiting to see what happens next. If anything, I just hope that they find a peaceful solution to this period, once and for all. Because we've hit a point where it's never been like this before in recent history. You know what I mean? This is serious.
Well, taking out the nuclear sites. Now they can negotiate without fear of anything because, from what I understand, it'll take them a minimum of 10 years to try to get everything back on.
But, to get everything online. But there was a report that there were trucks seen days ago leaving that facility with who knows what on it. And they probably did that in preparation with a lot of the other sites. So they hid their enriched uranium. It's in canisters. I heard reports that it's in like these 3-foot canisters, and they moved them to a secure, unknown location.
Right, but here's the thing: if you have the canisters of enriched uranium, but you can't build them,
Right. I get that. But who's to say they don't have a secret facility that nobody knows about underground?
Well, you're right. They could and stuff. I mean, that's always something that they got to watch. But the thing is, remember, we have the Mossad there that knows everything that's going on in Iran. I mean, my God, they have put up unbelievable intelligence, and they've put up a strike right within Iran. They got the Mossad right in Iran with drone strikes.
Mm.
I believe in your theory. I think it's a good theory that you got to be careful, but you got to proceed with peace now. These were the facilities they wanted to hit. They hit them. Let's see if people can get to the table now and talk.
You got to think, if you look back, because I think a lot of people are short-sighted, especially in the Arab community, about the history of Iran and the relationship with the West, okay? Going back to like the 1800s, they tried to have more relationships with the West. This is going back, way back. I mean, even before all this stuff. And this is, like I said, the late 1800s. They were doing a lot of trade with the other countries. But remember, this is before the state of Israel was created. You know what I mean? Because that was the game. That was the game changer. And
relationship with Iran before the mullahs came in.
Well, again, the Russians actually ruled. They pretty much ruled Iran up to World War I, and then after that, it just became a mess between the British, the Germans, the Russians, the Turks. There was that whole period of instability in Iran. And then all this is going on. And then there was they pulled away from the British. You know, they kind of became their own country again. Reza Khan, but then the Shah takes over. And I'm reading it right off here from the history.
Yeah, in 1977, the Ayatollah Khomeini takes it over.
Well, in 1979, the Islamic Revolution. But if you look at what they were doing, it was becoming more of a democratic society with less of the religious influence in running the country. Because I'm reading it, a quote right now, I'm reading it. During the reign of Reza Shah Pahlavi, educational and judicial reforms were effected that laid the basis of a modern state and reduced the influence of the religious classes. So there was the status of women were improved. The custom of women wearing veils were banned. The minimum age for marriage was raised. They did a lot of reforms under.
And it's all now.
And don't get me wrong, cruelty exists, corruption exists everywhere. Okay, that's. But if you look at the history, it's the change really was the religious aspect, the Islamic Revolution.
Yeah, Bill, everything you're saying is spot on. But I think what people have to do is become informed about the Middle East like you are. I mean, like you said, okay, what the hell's going on over there? So you started doing your research. But people think that, and this is what gets me, people think that they have it really good over there, that these people are good people. If you're, let's say, if you're gay or a transvestite or something.
Oh, you're done. You're done.
You're done. They'll take you and they will kill you. If you're a woman that does not wear the traditional garb that they want, they will stone you to death. This isn't in theory. They've actually done this. They've hanged people for minor things. I mean, they have done so many things that totally against our culture of life that people don't understand that. And it needs, you don't have to agree with everything we do here. You don't have to agree at all. But you have to be informed before you start making things. And that's why you made yourself informed. And there's some good things out of this and some bad things out of this. And you have to be able to weigh in and say, okay, what kind of society? Look, if our society was so bad, Bill, why does everybody want to come here?
Well, I'm reading this, and it's true. What I'm reading here, what happened, like building up to 79. And, again, the word corruption comes up. And you're always going to have that secular presence in a country like that. It says here, and it's talking about the Iranian Revolution. Everything was going well in Iran. But in little more than a generation, Iran had changed from a traditional conservative and rural society to one that was industrial, modern, and urban. The sense that in both agriculture and industry, too much had been attempted too soon, and the government, either through corruption or incompetence, had failed to deliver all that was promised, was manifested in demonstrations against the regime in 1978. In 78, incensed by what they considered to be slanderous remarks made against Khomeini in a Tehran newspaper, thousands of young madrasa students took to the streets. They were followed by thousands more Iranian youth, mostly unemployed recent immigrants from the countryside who began protesting the regime's excesses. The Shah, weakened by cancer and stunned by the sudden outpouring of hostility against him, vacillated, assuming the protests had been part of an international conspiracy against him. Many people were killed by government forces in the ensuing chaos, serving only to fuel the violence in a Shia country where martyrdom, and you know how they are with that martyrdom thing, played a fundamental role in religious expression. Because that's what it comes down to. It always comes down to the extremist religious aspect of it.
Hardest battle to fight when you're fighting a religious war. Right?
Yes, and that's what it would always come down when you're dealing with this region, especially. Despite all government efforts, a cycle of violence began in which each death was fueled by further protests, and all protests from the secular left and religious right became subsumed under the cloak of Shia Islam. That's it. Game changer. He goes to exile, an Islamic revolution occurs, and it's been like that since. So when you look at the history, the buildup, and what led, but, you know, I think a lot of people think that this has existed forever because it hasn't. The Shah, and there's always been the Shah going through history with Iran. It's like a royalty. So, you know, there is a prince out there, the eldest son. I mean, if there's regime change, would the people, number one, do it, or they would accept it? There's so many things, Chris, to consider. The IRGC is never going to lose control unless they decide, screw this, I'm going to look out for myself, I'm going to look out for my family, enough's enough, and they just walk away from stuff, but that's not what they're trained to do, you know. It's a lot, it's very complicated. This is very, very complicated.
And the problem is that people have been into this religion since they were children. So they're indoctrinated into it. This is what all they know. You know, Iran is a very closed society, as well as China. You're not able to go on the internet
Or North Korea, yeah.
and see sites that have a different opinion.
The-
And so when you indoctrinate your children and they grow up 20 years and they say, okay, death to America, and this is the one thing that.
But they only say death to America because of America's support of Israel.
And stuff. Even if we didn't support it, they still call us the big Satan.
I don't know. I think they know us as they recognize them as, quote, the little Satan, Israel, and the United States is the great Satan, the big Satan.
Right.
But that's because they tied our two countries together. They look at us as being their main supporters, their main backers. But I think that if that were to diminish, but it's obviously not diminishing now. But the point is here, Iran never, ever, ever, and the other Arab countries did as well. I mean, that's Persia, but it took a lot of them may not even publicly say they recognize Israel as a state. I wonder how many Arab countries have actually said that they recognize the state of Israel. They still don't recognize it. They look at it as occupiers, designated a piece of land that was given to them by the globalists, colonialists that were in power at the time.
Yeah, but Bill, don't you think that they need a country of their own somewhere?
But see, they may need a country of their own, but those people lived there. The Palestinians lived there. So who were the ones that were given that role to designate that country and say, okay, this piece of land is yours. We don't care who lives there now. We're just going to give you this piece of land and make it now the home for Israelis. Do you know what I mean? I'm saying what they're saying. They never recognized that. They never recognized the power by certain countries to say, okay, we're going to decide to make the country of Israel right here. We're going to give them this piece of land after World War II and everything that happened. And this is going to be their land. But you think the Arab countries are like, whoa, 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 whoa. What do you mean? Well, you're going to give them this land. That's not their land. Who said that that's their land? You're saying that's their land, but we're not saying it's their land. That's how this whole thing starts.
Oh, yeah. And I agree with you that the way things were done I mean, you have to say to yourself back at that time, okay, we almost wiped out a whole gender. I mean, I won't say we, it's the Germans that wiped out almost a whole gender of Jews. And, you know, the Holocaust, where people think it never happened, believe me, it happened. My wife actually visited the concentration camps when she was taking people over there on college tours. And she says, Chris, it's devastating to see what those camps look like.
I would tell you this right now. If you ask any people probably in Gaza, they'll say, well, genocide is occurring right here in our country right now.
Sure.
You know what I mean? So it depends on what perspective you look at it from. You know what I mean? Because that's the problem. There's no real compromise to peace and talking things out. And, okay, you may not recognize us as a state, but We can establish treaties with you and we can have relations and we can live in peace side to side. But the point is, the root fundamental point of this is they don't recognize them as being there legitimately. They are occupiers. Do you know what I'm saying?
No, I see exactly what you're saying. It's a difficult situation.
It really is.
And how do you curb? Listen, I've seen religious wars before, and let me tell you, nobody will give up their side because they're indoctrinated into it. You and I are having a conversation, and we agree to disagree, and we debate stuff, and we say, hey, you're right, no, you're wrong, no, you're right, you're wrong. It's not like that over there. Their first thought is on everybody's side is, well, how do we kill them? Am I right on that? I mean, these kids are indoctrinated into how to kill people.
Now, check this out. I just pulled something up. This is an interesting little tidbit here. The following states have never recognized or have foreign relations with Israel. There's a bunch. Afghanistan, but I'm going to pick out the ones that stand out. Iraq, Kuwait, Lebanon, Libya, Saudi Arabia, Syria, Yemen. I mean, the one that's not on that list is Egypt because they made a deal with them, but the majority of the Arab states do not recognize Israel as a state. That's one.
Years ago, all these Arab states attacked Israel in what they call the 6-Day War.
Now, this is an interesting thing. The following countries did have relations with Israel at one point in their past. Iran, from 1948 to 1951, and then from 1953 to obviously 79. So even Iran had relationships with Israel when it was created. They had relations. They didn't recognize them as a state. They had relationships with them.
Right.
And then there are countries here, the 14 countries that do not accept Israeli passports. Afghanistan, Algeria, Bangladesh, Iran, Iraq, Kuwait, Lebanon, Libya, Malaysia, Pakistan, Saudi Arabia, Syria, Yemen. Most of those are Arab countries. They don't even accept their passports. Oh, shit. Hold on. My friend is calling me. Hold on. So, you see what I'm saying? This goes on. This is deeper. This is much deeper than people realize. What's up, Mike? I'm talking to my friend Chris. What's up?
Oh, what's going on?
Nothing. We're just talking about stuff. What's going on with you?
Recuperating from my surgery last week.
What surgery?
Hernia.
Oh, you did get it?
Hey, Bill, I gotta go.
Yeah, Chris, keep me posted.
All right.
Bye.
Inguinal, yes. Second time. And 9 years ago, I had one done, and apparently below it busted out again.
Wow, dude. But at least you know what? How do you feel now?
That's all right. Yeah, no, it's good. And they actually did laparoscopic this time, so I got like 3 fucking cuts on my belly. Yeah.
I may go down to the city at one point. I don't know about now because of everything that's going on. But I have a wiffle ball challenge that I have to play somebody. Yeah. Somebody challenged me. Somebody.
I don't know what they're getting into. Do they realize?
They don't realize. I say that all the time. Do they realize who they're messing with?
Yeah, but you got to practice before.
Oh, I will.
Obviously.
Obviously, I got to get tuned up again. But anybody who wants to play against me in wiffle ball is asking for a beating.
Yeah, well, they were actually the wiffle ball I've seen on. There's actually wiffle ball fucking, a league or whatever, and they got tricks and shit and whatever.
Well, you know how I pitched. Are you kidding?
I know, yeah. But you gotta look at all that stuff.
Yeah, but those are
actually good.
those are professional wiffle ball players. I'm talking about somebody's challenging me that they think they're gonna. They have no idea what they're getting involved with.
Not like, okay, yeah, all right,
Yeah, he says, "Oh, would I play for a baseball team?" Good luck. Because if there's a box on the wall, you're in deep shit against me.
That's it. Yeah, if you gotta.
If it's a swing or miss thing, that's different. Because you're just gonna wait until I throw something that you're gonna sit.
Right. If there's a catcher, and then the catcher's gonna be like, how am I gonna fucking, yeah.
If there's a box, they have no chance. They have.
Right.
You know that.
Yeah, no, I know. You and Scotty,
Yeah, the top 2 people playing fucking wiffle ball. and throwing the ball.
Too, you know.
So I have to maybe go to the city for a challenge,
Wow.
and I'm gonna stream it live, and I'm gonna lay a hurting on him. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
Yeah.
You know, and especially if he doesn't know how to pitch like I do, and I just smash him, then it's really gonna be an embarrassing moment. You know, at least when I played against Scott, he was really tough like I was pitching, and you know,
Yeah, I know that was.
it was a challenge for me.
Yeah.
So, and then the neighbor next door, he's having a big 4th of July party on the 5th. He said, the only thing you got to do is bring yourself, and we're playing wiffle ball, because he's bringing his baseball team there. And I'm like, here we go, another wiffle ball challenge.
Right next door.
Right next door. I've got the three balls. I got the 3 balls taped up somewhere. I've got 3 balls taped up already, ready to
I
go.
have a wiffle ball.
Oh, right here.
Ball, actually,
Right here. You're
they
toast.
bought somewhere.
You
Yeah,
are
I can't even
toast.
find those anymore.
Even-
Which is-
Mike could tell you, I could throw this submarine underarm. Forget about sideways and overhand. I could throw this.
What about taping the ball? Is that?
Oh, it's
is that
taped.
permitted?
Balls taped. Oh yeah,
Can you do that?
of course. Got to tape the balls up. You know that.
Well, that's you know. It's,
It controls the movement. It weighs it down so you can control the movement better as it travels.
Is that acceptable in in professional?
Oh, I don't know. I don't care. I'm talking. This is between me and others. This is, you know what I'm saying?
Would you be able to do what you can do without being taped the ball? Well, you know.
No, you can't, because the ball would be too light and then it would just go all over the place. That's why you put the tape to weigh it down so you have more control of where the
Well,
ball's
that-
going to
that's
end
an
up.
Agreement though with what you're playing. That's the thing. You know, I mean, if you're just throwing a fucking wiffle ball around without tape on it, and it's willy nilly.
Yeah, and then you have to tape up the bat to weigh the bat down a little bit too. That makes it nice.
Yeah.
But you remember, you and I, we were like 20 years old and throwing a frisbee like
You know,
200.
I couldn't. Yeah. Well, the frisbee's one thing, with the fucking wiffle ball, it was beyond my. I was like, nah, I can't do this. It's gonna strike me out every time.
But
and
you
it's
remember,
pointless.
but you remember when I played stickball, throwing the ball like 80.
The same thing, stick ball. Yeah.
I used to throw the ball 85 miles per hour, 90 miles per hour, throwing a freaking
It was fucking right on that X.
right on the X, right in the
Yeah,
box.
no, yeah, I couldn't. Yeah.
And again, who were the two?
Fucking broom handle.
Who were the 2 pitchers? Me and Scotty.
You and Scott. And
That's
then-
it. Oh, and Sabini.
Yeah.
Sabini too.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
anyway, what do you do? So how long before you recuperate from the hernia?
Well, it was last Friday. I had the operation, and I mean, they did laparoscopic this time, so went through the stomach. And
You still have pain, or?
I just gotta be careful. I can't make like crazy sudden moves, or I gotta be either standing or stretched out, like to sneeze or cough. But it's definitely it's healing. But, so I got Monday is my follow up on Monday afternoon,
Mhm.
and I'm gonna try to. It's gonna be fucking heat wave.
I know.
We got a heat contingency, so
You might have issue. Are you still working with Con Ed, or are you retired?
yeah.
Dude,
No, I just-
are you working though? Are you like working?
Last week, 35 years.
No, but I'm saying, now that you had the surgery, are you going back to work yet?
No, I've been off.
Okay,
I've
so
been off.
you know Con Ed is going to have widespread outages because of the heat wave.
Yeah. Well, they're already load shedding and whatever they got to do. But so I'm gonna go Monday for my follow up, and I mean,
Tomorrow.
I probably can't go back to work, but I gotta play that I gotta be in my car, and the seatbelt. It's
Dude,
I'm
be
hoping to
careful.
get the rest of the week.
Be,
out of it, so.
be careful, dude. You just had the surgery. Don't do anything stupid.
Yeah, no. That's I would like to get the fucking next week off.
Yeah,
I
dude.
could be at home in the air conditioning.
Just,
Fucking-
You're going to see the doctor. The doctor's going to tell you, are you able to go back to work in a time frame, and you have all the paperwork necessary.
When I did my last time, they were like, you tell me. And I'm like, well, can I have July off? But, I'm not gonna, I just
Oh,
just
my
give me the rest
gosh.
of the week so I can take it. I'll be all right. So that's what
Well,
I think
I'm
I should
sure.
be,
I'm sure Billy's having a big party for 4th of July weekend.
Yeah, I was there last night with me and Chris next door. We just went by there, and he had actually a little fire, basically, and he's gonna do 4th of July this week.
Yeah.
Year.
Like I said, I'll be next door.
It's on
This
Friday too, so
there's gonna be like a combined party in the houses here. There's gonna be like a
he's
huge
doing all
party.
right. He's got he had issues with his foot again,
Uh-oh.
with the MRSA, but right now he's okay. And when we were there, he was like, "Are you recording this or am I live?"
Ah, you are live.
Oh, I am live. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I don't want to tell his business.
No. Don't get personal. No.
Yeah, okay. But anyway, he was saying that he can't share smoking because he's got to worry about any kind of
What?
viral stuff.
What do you mean? What's going on?
No, we were hanging out, and he just said he couldn't. I don't smoke because I can't because of my job, obviously.
Oh, flour. I get it now. I get it.
Passing something around. He was
Oh
like,
yeah. Yes.
He was like, not to be rude, but I can't because
He's vulnerable.
DNA or whatever, And it's funny, but meanwhile, we got chips there sitting there, and you can eat the chips and possibly, but that's I guess more direct, where lip to lip.
Dude, it's true. It's hypocritical to say, well, you can't pass me something to smoke, but there's a bowl of chips there where everybody's putting their hand into.
Exactly. So
That is
I
bullshit.
had nothing to do with that, obviously because I can't, whether I wanted to or not.
That's like a rule in my house. If there's a birthday party here,
Yeah.
no one's blowing. I don't give a shit who it is. Blowing on the candles to put out on a cake.
Yeah.
I'll put a bunch of candles on a cupcake or something. That'll be the one you blow out. But when it comes to that cake, no one is blowing on that cake with their germs. I won't eat the cake.
Yeah.
I mean, really, think about it. Think of all those tiny particles spewing out of a person's mouth. Even though you can't see it visibly, it doesn't mean that it's not coming out. Are you kidding me? That is gross.
But back in the day,
Of course, but I mean, we're not kids anymore.
we used to eat dirt and
We know better.
fire hydrant, So
Yeah, we know better than that. So I would hope that we know better. But I don't. She's good. She went back to. Actually, I don't think she ever sliced my mushrooms, onion, and pepper, so I could make an omelet. She's good. She's chilling out in her room. We just had some thunderstorms.
I'm gonna have to do fromage.
Dude, you gotta stop though. When you get better, like midsummer. Are you going to Germany or no?
Well, that's a whole other thing because we gotta go. Well,
Go in July. Go when you're better. Go in July. Go in August.
oh yeah, no, I was just talking to my sister. I don't know if you're interested in a house in Florida, but you got to sell the house because it's becoming a money pit.
Really?
Yeah, and it's down to like 100,000, since
Wow.
like last year, or during COVID.
Wow.
The market
Well-
was better, but you know what? She's losing money keeping it. So.
Yeah. You got to come up though one weekend whenever that's possible.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, definitely.
Before summer's out. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So if I do, Creed. I know you don't probably like Creed, but
I am not a fan of Creed.
they're playing. I saw them at the Garden. They had their reunion, and it was fucking awesome. And they're playing the 15th at Jones Beach, so I'm hoping to catch that.
Oh shit! You just made me realize something, dude. Are you going to Iron Maiden with me again next one? That's it. I saw a concert. It is so,
The last one, finally.
dude. They're playing all the old songs.
But yeah, not just like last time was cool, but they just play too much new stuff.
Yeah, this is all old. Oh my god! I'm like, this is a must. They're doing all the old songs. I was watching a
Return to the Hills or whatever.
Run to the Hills.
Yeah,
But dude,
definitely. Yeah, no, I'm down for that.
I watched a live concert, a recorded live concert from overseas because they're doing the tour. First of all, the drummer sounds great.
Yeah.
And secondly, they're doing all the old songs. They're like even
that's what you wanna hear.
Yes, even Diano songs. I'm like, oh shit.
Well, Deano died, right?
Oh yeah, he died.
They couldn't even like grab him and be like, let's fucking let him come up and
Wow.
sing a couple of these
They sold out everything, pretty much. I'm looking at their website right now. I got to keep an eye on this so that we buy the tickets.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I will. You know, even if it's $300-$400, whatever.
Look at this. They sold out overseas. They've pretty much sold everything out.
That's gonna be even the Who is going. Well, I saw the last of American tour in 1982. I was 13 years old, and they're still fucking pushing. You know, and now they're gonna be like, oh, we're gonna play finally the last show, which is gonna be Daltrey and I guess Ed Whistle. Are they still alive?
Yeah, I think so. I think.
And
Yeah, the bass player passed away.
Ringo Starr's son, but he's
Oh God.
fucking
But
on the outs. Like
I'm guessing early fall because it always happens.
Yeah.
The tickets are gonna go
I'd
sale
rather
for
see
Maiden.
him. I would rather see Maiden than the Who at this point. You know?
I wouldn't even want to see the Who. Not at this point. But remember what he said when we saw them a few months ago. See you in a couple of years,
Right.
meaning 2026.
Yeah.
And that is,
that gives them time to, I guess, brush up on the old shit.
dude, go watch, look it up. Run for Your Lives on YouTube. They did all the old songs. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is a must Iron Maiden concert because they're playing all their old stuff. A lot like you don't know. You never got into their new stuff.
Not really, but hey, I love it. I mean, every time I go to your house, I'm like, oh, this fucking shit is great. You know?
But this is what we grew up to.
Yeah.
This is the music we grew up to. So this is like,
You know what?
holy
You
shit.
want Killers. You know.
They do a couple of songs off Killers. That's what I'm saying. He does Diano stuff. Ratchild. They played Ratchild. And it's a lot of their old stuff. A lot of the Number of the Beast stuff.
Children of the Damned.
Yes. I can't wait to see. Because it's been a long time since I've seen these songs played.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Because they always push the album that they came out with. You hear a lot of that. And you don't hear many of the old classics. This is strictly old classics. It's just going to be freaking amazing.
Yeah.
And this time, I want well, shit. We'll figure it out. I want you to lay out the freaking money for the tickets, $400 or $500, whatever it is. Because I want to make sure that me and you are sitting together.
Yes. Yeah. I gotta,
Screw this that you're in another section like we went through last time. Bullshit. We need to enjoy this last Iron Maiden together.
Yes, for sure.
I will, because I'm a member of their fan club.
Yeah.
When I do the tickets, I'm going to call you and I'm going to ask you for your card information and I'm going to purchase our fucking tickets right there and then.
You know what? I think we both deserve that.
We do deserve that. Are you kidding me? Remember when we used to go to the concerts?
Lifetime. Yeah.
And I remember when we used to pay like $25 to go see a concert. Remember that?
Yeah. And he get ripped off.
Yeah.
Scalping, which happened, yeah.
And now it's like $450
That shit.
for good seats. And I got I get that first early sale.
Yeah.
So we'll get good seats. I'm not doing the floor though. Hell no, I can't stand. I can't do that.
Not general admission.
No, hell no. No way. No general admission.
Maybe,
We'll get the seats where I was sitting.
yeah.
It was great. I was so close to the stage, but not on the floor.
Right. And you don't
From
have
the
to worry
side.
about people in front of you fucking standing and where you gotta stand.
And then I'll get the parking, the garage and all
Like,
that.
If there's Maiden fans, everybody's gonna be standing anyway.
Yeah, I can't do that, dude. And then they're blocking you. Hell no. And then we'll go to because I remember I'm buying the VIP package. You got to go to. You're gonna love the VIP because you get to hang out. You could drink all you want. I'm designated driver. You know that. So, but you could have.
We gotta see. Was it gonna be the Garden or is it gonna be?
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna probably be at Prudential again. I like
No,
Prudential.
I mean, if it's an official like last tour, why wouldn't they do the Garden? So.
Dude, I like
That's the case.
I like
That's the case,
Prudential.
Oh yeah, it's fucking awesome.
But the good thing is, if we do go to the Garden, I'll park the car in a parking garage right on the west side.
Well, like we did before.
Yes.
That was awesome. We're right by the fucking stairway. Bing, bing, bing. In and out. And the only thing that it was the fires last time. So hopefully this no.
Oh my God, that's right. We had to drive through the Newark fires. The smoke. Oh my God, we couldn't even open the windows. That's right. When they had those fires in Newark.
Yeah.
But we'll have a good time, you know. But expect that call, dude, sometime in probably September, October. That's when I'm guessing these tickets are gonna go on sale. Because they usually go on sale a year before their appearance.
Yeah.
Because remember, we saw them in October last year.
You join the fan club, whatever, so you get the first access.
Yes, I get first access to tickets for whatever I want to
Put it on
choose.
my card, whatever.
Yeah, before they go to Ticketmaster, I get access.
Yeah. All right.
And dude, the VIP was so cool.
Yeah.
It's so and if it's in the Prudential, you're sitting right by the rink. You could see the hockey rink,
Yeah.
and they give you some tokens to get 2 free beers.
Yeah.
And I drank the Trooper beers. And then they have free food.
Yeah.
Nice, good food, quality. And you hang out, and they're playing blasting Iron Maiden in there. They got a place where you could stand to take photos of a background with Iron Maiden. And then you get all the goodies. You saw the goodies I got. It was cool. A shirt, a freaking bottle opener, a poster, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah. I know. I seen it in a backpack.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that. So we'll have fun. But anyway, go do what you got to do.
Yeah, Michelle's waiting to go shopping. I gotta see.
Go. Call me and keep me posted of what the heck is going on.
All right.
And maybe, like I said, you come up. Yeah. And maybe you come up some weekend this summer.
Yeah.
All right, dude. Send.
It might be August, but we'll see.
Yeah, probably August. I'm thinking the same thing. Send my love to. Send my love.
All right, sounds good.
Later.
Take care, all right.
Bye. That's my high school buddy. Actually, we know each other since junior high. What? What's this? There's a lot of going on Telegram right now. Which I'm clearing out. Free onion rings today. Get lost. What is this? Oh God. Weather. What? That's so he knows how good I am in wiffle ball. Oh, they're gonna pay. He's gonna pay. My friend, he has no idea what he's walking into. That's why I gotta continue losing this weight so I can throw the ball and move my body properly to throw the ball the way I want to throw the ball. That's a big important thing. What? Okay, nothing important. Good. That's done. Now, let's see what Wendy's showing. Maybe it's going to clear up and I can go in my swimming pool today. I doubt she sliced the mushrooms. I doubt she sliced anything. I got to go make an omelet. Oh, there's still some nasty storms out there to my west. Not here, because they're sliding down, but I'm right about there. And the clear breaks is coming. I said by 1. 1 o'clock looks really good right now. It might be even sooner than that. Nah, it might be 1. I said after 12. That's the future. Because I'm right there. By 1 o'clock, the sun... Oh, no.
For Billy.
Cook! Alexa, make an announcement.
What would you like to announce?
I'm not leaving yet. Mom, slice the stuff that I told you, then I'll cook.
Announcing. From Bill's Echo Show. I'm not leaving yet. Mom sliced the stuff that I told you, then I'll cook.
Here comes an incoming message. Let's see what it is. She's saying it. I can hear her. I don't know what she's saying, but I can hear it.
For Billy.
Put on the counter what he wants me to cut. 'Cause I don't know what it is.
Alexa, make an announcement.
What would you like to announce?
Mom, cut everything that's on that counter now. The mushrooms, onions, and red pepper. Now.
Announcing. From Bill's Echo Show. Mom cut everything that's on that counter now. The mushrooms, onions, and red pepper now.
Oh no, I can't work out fully yet, Charles, because this is not fully healed. And believe it or not, just going in the pool and swimming and doing that is a nice little workout for my shoulders. But I remember I tore a partial tear here. No surgery. The pain is gone, but there's definitely discomfort. Not sharp pain no more. I couldn't do this 3 months ago. See, it hurts extending it like this. Just this little motion hurts, but not, it's like a 3. I couldn't do this 3 months ago. And this, 0 pain. Because I got to get back to doing my weights, but I can't, not yet. Want to see me say that? Alexa, make an announcement. I'm going to say it that way. She's going to get pissed. Alexa, make an announcement.
What would you like to announce?
Mom, slice that now.
Announcing. From Bill's Echo Show. Mom sliced that now.
See, it used to say your voice. Now it says a message. That doesn't emphasize what I was saying. Mom, slice it now. That's not how I said it. Wrong. It's too funny. No, it's... I'm looking at the weights. They're actually... oh my God, what's it called? The bench is in my bedroom. It's a foldable bench. It's in my bedroom. And some weights. But there's some more weights here to do curls right there. But I can't touch that right now. Can't touch this. Not yet. I got so much going on, it's like ridiculous. Hard to keep track of everything, to be honest. So, but if I don't get into that kitchen, the heat is building in here now. I can feel it. Let me see how it looks. I feel the heat. Oh, the sun is coming out. Here we go. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, it broke. All that is pushed away to the south. It's breaking now. It's brightening. Look. Don't go into the light. Stay out of the light. Goodbye, friends. You and Astro have a great Sunday and enjoy your gardening. Yeah, I got to do a show at 4 too, so there's a lot of things, and obviously I'll be monitoring certain things going on. I think a lot of us are, right? It is what it is. Dog overheating? What? Kind of crazy. Oh, they're saying they're saying don't take your pets out for an extended period of time in this heat. No shit, Sherlock. It's not safe for humans. You think it's going to be safe for your pets? You know what's the worst? When I was in Arizona, I seen people walking a husky I was there during the heat wave, and they're walking them on the sidewalk. Can you imagine that dog's paws on that heat? It would be like, why don't you take your shoes off and you try walking barefoot while you're walking that dog? See how you feel. Sometimes you have to wonder what people think out of what they're thinking. I mean, it was 100 and something degrees and you're walking your dog on pavement. I don't know about that. Anyway, did you watch that? Watch what? No, I didn't see that. Are you kidding me? I've been paying attention to something totally different right now. But John Burroughs sent me something interesting, which I need to open that email. Oh my God, he sent me the attachment. Let me see what he sent me. And the stuff that goes on in Mexico, especially if some name is involved, I ain't buying it. At all. I don't even want to get into that. Oh shit. It makes me want to pay. Oh fuck. Maybe if I open it up in a different browser that it doesn't identify what John sent me. No, it's asking for you are trying to access because it's on the Wall Street Journal. They want you to pay. But it has to do with some of the things John is talking about. They just dropped this. I don't know if people are aware. They dropped it yesterday. Was it scrap metal or alien spacecraft? The Army asked an elite defense lab to investigate. It was dropped on the Wall Street Journal yesterday. This is flying under the radar right now because of everything else that's going on. But I'm not paying for it. So I got to call John Burroughs right now and bust his chops. Because I can do that.
Hello.
What's happening?
Nothing I'm aware of. What's happening?
Oh my God, nothing I'm aware of either. The Wall Street Journal article, they want me to pay for it. Is there any way that you can grab that, copy it, and I can see the whole article? Is there any way?
I think it's on my page, but let me see.
Oh, it's on your page?
Got it.
Facebook?
Yeah, you can look at it. It should open, but if it doesn't, just send me a text and I got it a different way. Hold on, I got it.
Yeah, just send,
I'm sorry, what?
just send it to me that different way.
Yeah, no, I will.
No rush,
All right.
because I want to read it. I want to read it thoroughly. What?
It's an interesting article just because they basically just lay out how the metal they got and the fighting going on within and why Lou left, so what he said he left, and that, the whole thing. But I'll send it to you. Give me about 2 minutes. Here.
So did they bring up Rendlesham at all, or no? Just some of the stuff.
Rendlesham did come up. So the only other thing that could come up, I guess, part of the report was held back. So it's possible that down the road Rendlesham could come up, but it's interesting that they went after Salas, but they never went after Rendlesham.
Yep.
So we'll see.
All right, send it to me. Call me if anything.
All right.
Bye.
All right, we'll do. Bye.
Bye. So, interesting. Some of the stuff they discussed in this article. I'm going to have to read it, obviously. Because I'm not going to subscribe to the Wall Street Journal. Just like subscribing to the New York Times to read an article. No way. But something interesting just to read. I want to check out what they say. And I should call the guys. That's something maybe they might want to talk about on Thursday on the show, UAP. But I can't make certain calls. It's too early out west. And I can't ask Chris to do it. No way. I'll wait till tomorrow. Matter of fact, I'm calling Commander. If he picks up.
Hello, sir.
What's happening?
Nothing much.
I got an idea for Thursday if you want to take command of it.
Okay.
They just, John Burroughs is going to send me the Wall Street Journal article that was dropped yesterday. It's like the second part in their series. I don't know if you can hear me. So
Again, it sounds good.
he's going to send it to me. And then I'll send it to you. And if you want to take control of the show, he just sent it to me. So I'm going to forward it to you in an email. Look at it and let me know what you think tomorrow.
You bet.
And have a great weekend. And I'll be keeping an eye on everything else that's going on.
I just think I hope you guys appreciate why I put certain pictures up.
I knew it. I called it. I said it when you were doing it. Remember, I did mention that. Interesting how you have that image in the background. So anyway, have a great weekend, you and your wife and everything, and hit me up.
All right, brother.
Later.
See you soon.
Bye. Okay, he'll take control of it. He did. He did drop hints to us during the show on Thursday. He did. And he's been overseas helping assist as a contractor on stuff which I cannot repeat. But it's wild. Where did John just send me that link? I might be able to see the whole article. I hope he didn't send it on my phone because that's a pain. Please do it on Messenger on Facebook. No. Oh, wait. He did. Now, I can't do this because they want you to pay, so I can't even share it on the screen. But I can see it now. And I gotta fast forward. I gotta forward this to a commander. Alright, so I have to save this link. Copy. First, and I gotta send it to Commander. I can read a little bit off of it, I guess, right? I gotta go make breakfast. Okay, to Commander W article. I should send it to all of them. Duh. If it's going to be talked about the show, they should all know. Okay. I just sent it. Okay, so here's the article. I cannot share it because it's Wall Street Journal and Oh, shit. I knew it was Art's Parts. It doesn't say it in the article, but I knew when he said Elizondo because I remember when Linda Moulton Howe, who had possession of it, and they wanted a piece of it to test. And she sold it a piece for like $3,000. I don't remember the number. But I knew about it because I was... John, it's a long story. I can't get into details. So, it's interesting. Lockheed Skunk Works Lab, a legendary facility known for its work on some of the country's most secret projects, had in fact just tested and attempted to replicate a piece of metal that was said to have been gathered from a crashed UFO outside of Roswell. The U.S. Army wanted to know whether they could use the material to be vehicles that bent the conventional rules of gravity. Spoiler alert, the idea didn't fly, but the untold story behind the EarthSat space metal turned out to be almost as strange as UFO fiction. I've known about this for years. The metal went on a 3-decade journey. Art Bell had possession of it, and then he gave it to Linda. The metal went on a 3-decade journey from a fringe legend, Art Bell, fed by a late-night radio personality, to the hands of a 1990s era rock star, to the elite testing of the lab, because it went to, at the time, it went to the Stars Academy when Lou was part of that. Linda had it. I know the whole story behind the thing. Like I said, I'm not going to get into details because this is old. That's, for the people that don't know, this might be new. That's old news. It was just one of the series of episodes Kirkpatrick's team dug into as it investigated claims that Washington was hiding, blah, 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 blah. Art's Parts. Here it is. Art's Parts. They're mentioning it in the article. Art Bell's involvement with it. And then it was handed to the Stars, just like I said. Look, it's repeating what I just said, the article. Art's Parts. And then it became available to the Stars. But does it mention that Linda had it? They're not saying her name? There's a lot of Elizondo stuff in here. So I can't keep sharing the screen because I could get in trouble with that, but this is an extensive article. I'm going to have to read the whole article. Again, I can't show it, so that's that. There's supposed to be a hearing before summer recess. I'll say that. Unconfirmed publicly. But Luna, I don't know if Mesa's involved. There's a few that are trying to get a hearing this summer. But with everything else that's going on, good luck. But they're trying to get a hearing before summer recess. That's all I'll say. Okay, John, thank you. I had the phone off because the red alerts go off from Israel. I have to clear them all. So I have the red alert app. You can't see it. See, my arm hurts in this angle. Thank God I'm not pitching with my right arm, because then it would never happen. So I'm going to clear all my past red alerts, activate it, just in case anything goes off. I'll know with this. I don't even have to be watching. Once this goes off, who knows what the hell's going on. So that's an interesting article. I just sent it out to everybody. I don't know if Grandize, are you, I don't know if you're still there. I don't know if you had my email. I would have emailed it to you. Anyway, I'm going to get the heck off now and make breakfast finally, then get ready to go out there and then come back into work. So my day really has to start getting going now. So pray for peace, but God bless our soldiers, our troops, our military, their families, all of us here in the United States and abroad. Whether you agree with what happened or disagree what happened, just remember what's done is done. And like I said, my emphasis now is praying for peace and praying for the safety and well-being of all American citizens. Because obviously it's our country, right? So again, I know everybody has their opinions about it, but right now I'm concerned about us domestically, God forbid, and our citizens abroad, all over the world, whether they're dual citizenship or tourists. Of course, our troops that are exposed by this, their families. Some families are still in certain areas, but a lot of them have been evacuated out. Our embassy workers, contractors, the list goes on. So, yes, the civilians. I said that earlier. It's always the civilians who pay the dear price on every side. And it's horrible. It's, I think I don't have to say much more on that, right? It's common sense. Because I know that if it wasn't for the political and all that, I know we would probably have more in common with people anywhere in the world than not. Everyone, I think the majority of the people just want to live a prosperous, healthy, positive life for themselves and their families. They are no different from us that want to live, in a place that have shelter, have food, have all the bare necessities to survive as a human being. And, here we work for, that's the whole thing, work. You work for it. You earn. It's all, but some people don't have that ability either because they may be sick or whatever. But, I know that we may have differences of opinions, and that's okay. That's what it's about. As long as it's done with respect. But, I just hope that this doesn't spins out of control for anyone or any country. So, and that's another thing. Work for peace. Diplomacy is so hard. Compromise is so hard. Do you see compromise in our political system? Look how hard it is here. Imagine in the middle of a conflict. We can't even resolve our issues here between each other. So we're not setting a perfect example for that, are we? I don't think so. It's like slice it right in half. This side, that side, us, them, we win, you lose. No talking, no compromise. Do you know what the word is? I don't know if this is true. The president didn't inform any Democrats on his decision, but the Republicans knew. Now that is like petty. You want to talk about what? You didn't inform even the majority leader of the party that this was going down? That's where we're at. Think about that. I heard it. I don't know if that was true though. It wouldn't surprise me if it wasn't true. I mean, if it is true that happened. But that's how petty it is here. Yoga. I don't know. Don't give me any more ideas, Grandizer. But like I said, you're right though. Working for peace is a lot harder. And stopping conflicts. I mean, look what Russia. Did you see the Russian statement on this? It's such bullshit. And then I'm getting off. The Russian statement almost made me laugh. But see, when stuff like this happens, they use it as an example. And it took a lot. It takes a lot. Look what they said. I'm going to read the statement. If it's here. Here it is. This is the Russian statement this morning from their foreign ministry. I'm just going to read the quote. The consequences of this action, including radiological ones, has yet to be assessed. But it is already obvious that a dangerous escalation has begun, fraught with further undermining of regional and global security. The risk of an escalation of the conflict in the Middle East, already engulfed in multiple crises, has increased significantly. But that's not all they said. Where's the rest? See this? It's not saying the whole statement. This is the Mirror. I'm not surprised. But they pretty much said that it was against international law, attacking a sovereign country, violating resolutions and all this shit. I'm going to see if I find it somewhere else because they're not saying it. And I'm saying to myself, but what are you doing in Ukraine? And have been doing in Ukraine? I'm like, what are you talking about? It's like such hypocrisy. I'm trying to find it. He called him Ayatollah Putin. Zelensky. Oh my gosh. Here's a little bit more. See, they're not, nobody's saying the quote. It's saying Iran statement. Very little coming out on the media. I'm surprised. I read it on a Telegram. But I can't find it on here. Here it goes. Here's some of it. Finally. The irresponsible decision, this is a quote coming from their Russian foreign ministry, which I find laughable. Coming from them, it's freaking laughable when you hear it. The irresponsible decision to deliver missile and bomb strikes on the territory of a sovereign state, no matter what arguments are used to justify it, is a gross violation of international law, the UN Charter, and resolutions of the UN Security Council, which previously unequivocally qualified such actions as unacceptable. The fact that attacks were delivered by the country, which is a permanent member of the UN Security Council, is of particular concern. Are you kidding me? You did the same thing you just made in that statement with Ukraine. And you're a permanent security member. That could have been copied and pasted and said about yourselves going into Ukraine. Are you kidding me? I mean, that's a joke that the Russian ministry had the nerve to put something like that out. But enough of that. What'd you do with Crimea? They were independent. Oh, but the Russians that lived there wanted us to rejoin. The hypocrisy's everywhere on statements. And China was against it, but not like what Russia said. So we have to see how this all turns out. I just wanted to read that before I get off because they had the nerve to release a statement like that. Are you kidding me? Anyway, everybody, have a great... What's going on in here now? Russia invaded because there was a part of Ukraine that had voted to be under Russian rule. And I said, no, again, a whole other story that goes far back. Yes. But there's two sides of that narrative. Because that's what they want people to say, that the eastern part of Ukraine wants to rejoin Russia. So we need to go in there and liberate them. This is not about that. This is about Russia trying to recreate the Soviet Union and the Soviet Russian Empire by reclaiming territory that they lost and went independent. That's what this is about. They're just trying to reclaim piece by piece. Mr. KGB wants it so. So this again, there's a lot of different variables with that. So, you know, they took a lot of the Ukrainian children and brought them back into Russia. There's a lot, both sides. There's always two sides. There's always. There's never just a one-sided point of view. In this country, there may be. That's why I always emphasize being a person being objective when they look at something. Because there's a lot of gray. It's not just black and white. There's a lot of gray. It's never that simple and easy. People want it to be because it's easier for them to comprehend and understand and make sense of it all. But it's usually very complicated. You know, because you know how it is. I'm sure a lot of people know how it is. How people could get dumbed down and accept everything as being, that's what it is, without looking into all of the other different things that are going on too. If it fits your opinion and that's something you support, of course you're going to grab hold to that and you're going to embrace it. Because it suits your opinion. It supports your belief system, your opinion system. If it's something that goes against the grain, you're going to be like, nah, that can't be. So it is what it is. That's just the state of being. And that's why I always emphasize it's okay to disagree with each other as long as you show respect to each other. But we're not there. It doesn't take long for things to spin out of control when you're talking to someone and you're trying to have a dialogue, communication, when it just spins out of control. Now you're yelling at each other, you hate each other, and you want nothing to do with each other. And that's where pretty much where we're at. If you disagree with me, he's not with us. He's on their side. He's not with us. That's the way it is. It's even worse when you're in the middle as a moderate and you get attacked from either side because you're in the middle. You don't go off to the far fringes of either side. Compromise is key, like you said. The work of peace is tough. The work of diplomacy, the work of communication, the work of sitting down with one another and trying to work something out. That is the hard part. It's so easy to talk shit about each other and put each other down and make things like it's funny, to talk about someone in a totally disrespectful way and accepted, and we've been brought down to such a low level. And it's acceptable. People have been dumbed down. What's up, Nick? Long time no see. Do you know what I mean? It's sad, actually. It's actually like sad that we're at that state. I mean, what happened to just doing things in a dignified, respectful way? It's almost like I'm reading an old magazine of Mad Magazine. Do you know? I don't know. It baffles me. Oh, shit. And there's nothing wrong with having your opinion on something. You just don't have to put down the person that disagrees with you down and demean them and degrade them and make them like your enemy. And then just spew some real vile stuff out of your mouth. You know what I mean? No. It's not always been this way. Oh, no. It has not always been this way. Hell no. Hell no. I remember during the Reagan years, and even into the Clinton years, to a point, where Republicans and Democrats would go out to dinner with each other. They would go golfing together. They would communicate with each other. They would try to work out something. Now, in the last 10 years, actually, might go back a little further than that. It's just been off the scale and getting just worse. Hell no. No way it's not. It's always been people having a difference in opinion as far as they sit from a conservative or liberal point of view. Absolutely. More conservative fiscal responsibility and stuff like that, or one going more for social programs, and that's always been. And the differences of policy with that. But it's just gotten to the point where this is just out of control. Oh, they don't go out to dinner much now. Are you kidding me? Especially in the house? Are you kidding me? Not like it used to be. No way. Not even close. Not even close. There are a few moderates left. Moderates that would sit down and work with the other side. But those are far and few between. Because I'll just make this, it's like this. A lot of people that support Donald Trump were totally against his operation here going into Iran. Because he made that promise as a campaign promise. I'm going to stop global conflict. I'm going to end the wars. There are a lot of people out there, and this goes across the board, but specifically MAGA supporters that are not happy this morning or last night. But I guarantee you this, they'll all come back and support him. Look at the Republicans in Congress right now supporting the action. Do they truly represent the constituents that did not want the president to go into Iran? To get involved in a conflict that is, and I've seen this in multiple places. This is not our war. Israel started this. We have no business getting involved in this. But how quickly that will change to support him no matter what happens. They might be a little upset. It might take a little time for them to get over it, but it's not going to change anything. I'm just reading the latest. Reuters reports Russia, China, and Pakistan, who are they allied with? Iran. Will submit a draft resolution to the UN Security Council today calling for an immediate and unconditional ceasefire in the Middle East. But every generation has something that goes on. Look at Vietnam. I mean, you look at throughout the generations. Is Iraq, the first Iraq, with Kuwait. Like you said, Afghanistan. The second thing with Iraq. That definitely. That goes without saying. It's not like it's something new. This is not something new as far as that's concerned. Number one, they could do all they want in the Security Council. The United States has veto power. So does Britain, the UK. So this is just a ploy just to publicly say that this is their way to condemn the actions. It's not going to get anywhere. It's all political. As always. But I get your point, Grandizer, 100%. But, like I said, there's a lot of emotions and feelings going on right now. And like I said, I'm curious where this goes next. Or what happens next. That's a major concern. What's up, Hat the Cat? But it's time for me to go make some breakfast. Hat the Cat. Is it Hat the Cat? Yeah, it is Hat the Cat. On Rumble. So, again, let's see what happens. I got to go make breakfast now. And then I'm going into my swimming pool for a couple hours. And then I'm going to go work for a little while. And then, if all is quiet, I'll be back here tonight, streaming. But obviously, if shit hits the fan, that's why I'm watching Telegram and all the other stuff going on. And yeah, I've got the Red Alert app activated. You could do it online too. So far. But I have the app. I've had it since the October thing happened. It's the Israeli alert system. But you can also go here. I know I spelled it right. I didn't know. I meant so far. How come it's not coming up? Did I bookmark it? Yeah, I did. Oh, I spelled it wrong. If you want this browser page for the alerts, let me know and I'll paste it in chat. Because there's an app, but There's the browser version here. It's called Zofar. So I'll copy it. I'll put it in chat. If you're interested, it shows the alerts coming into Israel. Oh yeah, I can't wait to go into the pool today. Are you kidding? It's already getting hot in the house. I had the air on all night, but I shut it off. All right, so those are the links to this app. So the alerts shows you the alerts in the last few hours. Full archive of all the stuff that's been going on. So this is an interesting little app for alerts. Look at all that. And that was 11 hours ago. And if you've been watching the news, you know exactly when all that went down. So that's just something if you want to keep track of it. Anyway, I need to get the heck off and make breakfast. Love to everyone. Peace to everyone. Be well, be blessed, be safe. Have a great Sunday. Enjoy if you can. And I'll be back maybe later on tonight. So to Neuro, I don't think Fringe is there anymore. So to Neuro, Grandizer, Nick, anybody else who may be watching, have a blessed